In this section, situates science, technology, and society in the context of the Philippine nation building. It then traces the historical development and impact of science and technology on the various segments of the Philippine society. Science and technology in the Philippines had its beginnings during the pre-colonial times. During this period, people used herbal medicine to treat illnesses. To facilitate trading, Filipinos made use of writing, numerical, measurement, and calendar system. Farming, fishing, mining, and weaving were the first livelihood skills developed by Filipinos. In some cases, the techniques Filipinos developed for livelihood purposes resulted in majestic architectural designs that managed to attract worldwide attention, like the Banaue rice terraces in Ifugao. During the Spanish colonial period, science and technology developed through the establishment of formal education institutions and the launching of scientific organization. Schools were mandated to teach religion, mathematics, reading and writing, music and arts, and health and sanitation. Medicine and biology were taught in different educational and training institutions. Since agricultural was the major livelihood of Filipinos, the natives were trained to use innovative approaches in farming. To construct buildings, churches, bridges, roads, and forts, engineering was introduced and developed as well. The rapid development of scientific principles influenced by Western culture during the Spanish colonial period was short-changed. This is why agricultural and industrial developments were during the latter part of the Spanish era. Instead, trade was prioritized due to possible bigger profits. When the Americans came, institutions for science and technology were reorganized as well. For example, the former Laboratorio Municipal was replaced by the Bureau of Government Laboratories under the United States Department of Interior. The Bureau was established for the purpose of studying tropical diseases and pursuing other related research projects. Eventually, in 1905, the Bureau was changed to Bureau of Science, which became the main research center of the Philippines. In 1933, the National Research Council of the Philippines was established. Developments in science and technology during the American regime were focused on agriculture, medicines, and pharmacy, food processing, and forestry. In 1946, the Bureau of Science was replaced by the Institute of Science. Former President Ferdinand Marcos was emphasized the role of science and technology in the national development. He mandated the following: Department of Education and Culture, now known as Department of Education, DepEd, to promote science courses in public high schools. He donated for the creation of science and technology-related courses and to promote research. Ferdinand Marcos donated 35-hectare lot in Bicotan. The Philippines Science Community is now the site of Department of Science and Technology, DOST. Seminars, workshops, training programs, and scholarships. The Philippine Coconut Research Institute, or PhilCorn, Philippine Textile Research Institute, Philippine Atomic Energy Commission, now the Philippine Nuclear Institute, Nation Grains Authority, now the Nation Food Authority, Philippine Council for Agricultural Research, now the Philippine Council for Agriculture, Aquatic, and Natural Resources Research and Development. Philippine Atmospherics, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, PAG-ASA. Philippine National Oil Company, Plant Breeding Institute, International Rice Research Institute or IRRI, Bureau of Plant Industry, Bureau of Forest Products, and the National Committee on Geological Sciences. The National Science Development Board, or NSDB, was reorganized as the National Science and Authority, NSTA, in 1981. In 1976, Marcos established the National Academy in Science and Technology, or NAST, to be the reservoir of scientific and technological expertise in the country. And during Marcos, he established teachers and administrators at the Philippine Science High School were granted salary increases in the Mindanao and Visayas campuses of the Philippine Science High School. In 1986, under President Corazon Aquino, NSTA was renamed DOST. This was done in order for the science and technology sector to be represented in the cabinet and plus play an integral role in the country's sustainable economic recovery and growth. The Science and Technology Master Plan penned by the DOST aimed to update the production sector, improve research activities, and develop infrastructures for the science and technology sector. In 1987, during the presidency of Fidel Ramos, the Philippines had approximately 3,000 competent scientists and engineers. The Doctors de Barrio program made healthcare. Incentives were given to people who played significant roles in the science and technology sector, and also during Ramos. During Ramos, science and technology sector were mandated, such as RA 8439, Magna Carta for Scientists, Engineers, Research in Other Science and Technology Personnel, and Government, etc. The term of President Joseph Estrada, he both signed and mandated the RA 8749, the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, and RA 8792, Electronic Commerce Act of 2000. President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. The science and technology sector were developed to strengthen the education system and to address poverty. In 2014, President Benigno Aquino III named national scientists, namely Gavinon C. Trono for marine biology, Angel C. Alcala for biological science, Ramon C. Barbara for horticulture, and Edgardo D. Gomez also for marine biology. Today, in the administration of President Rodrigo Duterte, the science and technology sector is seen to be a priority based on the budgets for research and development, R&D, that grew by nearly times over the same period. Formulation of programs and policies that will aid in shaping the country's back up to Duterte. Currently, the Philippines has the Philippine Space technology program, which lands of Diwata 2 in 2018 after the launch of Diwata 1 in 2016 that displayed the Philippine flag in space. Besides space technology, the current administration also gives importance to agriculture and disaster preparedness. Science and technology in the Philippines and the environment. Science and technology have numerous contributions to society. Agricultural development needs to cope with a rapidly and exponentially growing population. Tools such as water pumps and sprinklers helps in managing and damaging effects of extreme heat caused by climate change on crops. Science and technology have also made it possible to produce genetically modified crops which grow faster and are more resistant to pests. Science and technology has improvement transportation by land, air, and sea. Communication has also improved through technological advancement. Through technological developments, ways of learning also change. This contribution, science and technology, however, always come with adverse impacts, especially on the environment. One is resource depletion. The increasing number of new and advancement technologies in the production and manufacture of different goods and services result in a depletion of the Earth's natural resources.